Hey, what's going on, everyone? Josh here with Piano Marvel, and today I'm going to share a process with you that I think is really special, honestly. It's called Humanizing MIDI. So let me just jump in. We're in method 4C number 17, and before I play this song for you, I want to play this how I believe it should be performed, okay? So if I was to sight read these first 8 measures, okay? So you might notice that I'm using the pedal so that notes are sustained more. And I'm doing my best to add some tasteful dynamics and, crescendi and all that kind of stuff. That, if we play this piece right now as it is, when you export a piece from Finale, it doesn't sound pretty or anything. Check it.
Go.
There's no pedal. And the notes are kind of just blurted out. I mean, you could make that way more special. So, like I already showed you, so this process that I'm going to be showing you is going to be basically a way to extract a human performance, like what I just did for you, and apply that to MIDI. And I think it's going to change the game. So stick with me. I'm really excited to share this to you. Okay, so let's jump into it. So first things first, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to record your performance. And the way that I like to record it is with a software called Logic, because I'm using a Mac. Now you can do this also on GarageBand if you have a Mac or Apple device. But there's lots of different DAWs, digital audio workstations, that do this, that record MIDI. That's what you're going to need to be doing here. And in Logic, the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what speed and time signature you need to set this to. So check this out. Over here, you'll notice this piece is at 60 beats per minute, okay? You'll see that right here in the bottom left in Piano Marvel. And I just want to give you a quick little sidebar. The fast version of this piece is at 90. We're recording at 60. I could record faster, I could record slower. It really doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this process, is you could record at whatever speed you feel comfortable. You could even record hands separate if you so desire. But let's just get this set up. You'll notice that the time signature is 3/4 and it's 60 beats per minute. And there's no, changes in this piece as far as time signature or tempi is considered. So we're just going to go ahead and set this up to record at 60 and at a time signature of 3/4. So now we're in 3/4, okay? Now you'll notice that my setup, I have a human and I have a computer. We'll understand this later. At this point, what we want to do is we just want to straight up press record. Now I don't even see it right here. I do know the shortcut. It might be hiding though because I have this on this different screen. So if I go over here, now we're recording. You check that out? Okay, so now it doesn't really matter if I play this, right now. You'll see in this screen. Now we are hearing some instruments that I have set up. I'm just going to mute those for now so that we're not actually having weird sounds. But now we're recording, okay? So at this point, we're set up and we can go back over here to Piano Marvel. And at this point, all you need to do is just go in here and press play, okay? Now, the goal here, and this may take 2-3 playthroughs, so I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing, but the goal here is to get a performance that you feel really comfortable with, that you like, that the pedaling, everything that you'd like is pretty much there. One thing I like to shoot for is if I get 100% in Piano Marvel, that to me it's pretty good. Obviously there's going to be some things that I may hit a note like really loud or really quiet, and I can fix that later on in the MIDI, which I can show you later, but we're just aiming for, I like to aim for 100% score. And that pretty much is my cutoff. You kind of can get into this searching for perfection thing. So that's how I make sure I don't get locked into that trap. So with that being said, I'm going to press play and you'll see me when I play through this whole thing and find one I like. Okay, so I just got finished playing. Okay, so got this big now for us. And what we need to do is, like I said, we need to zoom in. And this is really important. We need to find the actual downbeat. So now that it's recorded, we have everything that we really need. Now we need to find the actual start of this piece so that everything can be synced up. So that's looking to me, I believe, like that's the exact downbeat of the song. So what we can do here is we can split this at the playhead, and then everything in front of it we can delete. And now we can zoom out, and we can make this start right at beat 1. So now if I unmute this piece and I turn on the metronome, and let's start at the beginning. And you see it's pretty much in sync. There may be some, quantizing that I need to do. And if you're not familiar with quantizing, what quantizing is the concept of actually locking everything up to be perfect. And I'm going to show you that right now. So just bear with me. Here we go. So here's this piece. We have the actual beginning done, and now we need the end. So what I'm going to do is just go maybe right over here and just split it at playhead, delete, and now we got the piece. So at this point, this is really important. Everyone always talks about this. You need to make sure you save, okay? So we're going to call this method 4C number 17. And I actually have a folder. Well, I'll just save it there for now. Method 4C number 17, okay? So there we go. Also, another thing I'm just now seeing, sorry, I work a little bit ADD. So I like to make everything the right length. So now I'm going to save again. And at this point, I have the humanized MIDI in there. And I can also set this looping going on. So I know that I need to quantize. That's the next thing that I need to do, okay? So I'm going to show you real quick how to quantize. So let's jump in back over to this piece. Let's look at this piece, okay? We have eighth notes I'm seeing as the smallest time value. And since I got 100% on that recording, then I know that, and I know right here you're seeing 98, but that was because it was my fourth play and I didn't listen to my own feedback, but just play it when you get 100 and then let that be it. You can get locked in that trap so easily. Anyways, don't worry about that score. I did get 100 on that one. And we're now looking to see how small we quantize, okay? So I'm seeing eighth notes as the smallest subdivision in this piece. So that means back over here, we're going to quantize these notes to the smallest subdivision of eighth notes. So I'm going to double click here, and you'll see that if there's loads of awesome data in here. What I'm going to do is select all the notes by Command A, or if you go up here, you can just say select all. I think it's under Edit. Select all, yeah, Command A, as you can see. So I've got all these notes selected down here, and now I'm going to say I want to quantize. Oop, I think I just did 16ths. So I need to say I undid that, and now I'm going to do eighth. And now if I press play, okay, that's how it sounds compared to this is unquantized. You hear how I'm rushing some notes? Yeah, I'm rushing very badly. So if I quantize this to an eighth note, now everything is going to be magic. Right on it. So that's awesome. So now we're getting to the fun part. And the reason that we're getting to the fun part is because now we're actually getting to the point where I can load in that piano part from earlier and I can apply all the humanized MIDI to it. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I just downloaded the MIDI file for this track, and what I'm going to do is drag it over here into Logic, okay? And I don't need to worry about importing the tempo or anything because I know that I did that correct. So I'm going to say no, and I'll just say use 24. And at this point, I want to make this just a little bit smaller so I can see what's going on, okay? So if I look at this, these are my tracks that I started with. I have a human and a computer. And these are all the other tracks that you heard in the piece. So that's the piano that I was hearing. This is a great sounding guitar. It may also need a little bit of human. And then we got some drums. So all I really need for this, I want to turn off this metronome right now. I'm done with it. So I'm going to turn off the metronome, click. And all I need for this is, I believe, just right here, this piano. All of this I could probably just delete. So what I'm going to do is just go here, select them all, right click, and then just delete tracks, okay? So now if I unmute or if I solo this computer, now we can easily compare what mine sounds like compared to this. I mean, it's completely different. I hope you can hear that. So now that we have these loaded side by side, it looks like everything is matching up. This is the part that we've been waiting for. Now, before I jump into it, I'm going to press save because you can never save enough. Okay, so now that we have this done, we need to basically copy all the velocities, which if you don't know what velocities are, let me just show you real quick. So if we listen to this computer version, let me just solo it and press play. You can hear it playing, it's going. Okay? My version is going, obviously I'm using the pedal, but I'm also kind of doing like a crescendo. That maybe wasn't the best, but I think you got the idea. There was quiet, a little louder. I'm adding some of that velocity information, and you can see it. Look at this. Look at how all these are green. They're the same color. And actually, if I press this button, oh no, if I press this button, you can see all the note velocities for this computer track are all the same. But if I go to the human, you can see it's way different. It's way different. Okay, so now you should understand what we're trying to do with this track. This track has no note velocity at all, whereas you see the piano recording I did, it does have note velocity. And in addition to that, it also has this sustain pedal, which I think you guys all know what this is, but just in case, I'm gonna press play. You can see how I use the pedal right there. And also on these first notes, you can even see that I'm holding them longer. So we also want to take some of that information as well, because this is all the stuff that pianists do, and we want to take that. All right, so now that you see the reason why we're kind of doing this, I want to show you how you're going to go ahead and copy all this note data, this note velocity, and apply it over here to this note velocity. It's not nearly as simple as you might think, which is just, oh, Command A, copy, and then paste over here, because if you do that, you'll notice that duplicate notes get added in. This line right here is the notes that were before it. So this is not going to work. What you need to actually do is do what's called a groove template. Before you do that, though, I would recommend, I've learned from doing this many times, that you need to export the MIDI file first. So I'm going to just export this. What I'm going to call this, because this is just going to be a throwaway file. So I'm just going to call this human, and I'm going to put this in my downloads. And now I'm going to delete this. And I know that sounds kind of scary, but once you do that, now all you need to do is just drag that human right back to where it was. You don't need to worry about importing tempo. And what that's going to do is make sure that the downbeat is actually, I can't totally explain it. I just know that it makes it work better, and it gets rid of errors that are bound to show up. So I would highly recommend you doing that. Now, once you do this, it's then time to go over here and make a groove template. Now, this is called human. So if I go over here and I say make a groove template, instead of humanizing this entire track, or instead of quantizing this entire track, if I say make a groove template, what it's going to do is then allow me to go over here and say, hey, I want to use that human groove template. Okay? Let's go over this process again. So this track has nothing happening. Quantize is off. Okay? I'm going to go over here, this quantize function on the left side. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say make a groove template. Okay? It's called human. So if I go over here to 1, and then I scroll down here and I click human, this is now getting quantized the same as here. But you'll notice the note velocities differ. How do we take these note velocities and apply them to here? Well, it's simple. All you got to do is go over here on the 1. So you'll see I'm on the computer track. I'm going to go down here to Q strength, Q velocity. And I'm going to put it to 100%. And you're going to notice that it now has some of that data. It's magic. It just applied some of that note velocity data to it. Now, there's other stuff that you might want. You're not out of the woods yet, okay? One thing that we talked about is the length I'm holding some of these notes. If you compare these lengths, so check here, measure 1, look how long that is compared to how long this is. We want to apply some of that information. So what I'm going to go over here is on the computer track, apply Q length to 100%. Now you may want to experiment with that. You may want to do 50% or something like that, depending on the piece. But for now, I'm just going to say 100%. And we're still not out of the woods yet. We're almost done. We've taken care of the note velocity, but we haven't taken care of the sustain pedal. So that pedal that I was using earlier, we can literally copy and paste that in. We can't copy and paste, as you already saw earlier, we can't copy and paste the note velocity, but the sustain pedal, we can. So if I go there, I copy it, and I just do edit copy like that. And then I go here to the computer and I say paste at original position. And then scroll over to sustain. Boom. We now have sustain. So this is almost done. The last thing that I like to do, and honestly, I don't know if this does anything, but with the piano that I have, this Clavinova, I noticed that it sends out this high resolution velocity prefix. I have absolutely no clue what that is, but I didn't start seeing it, like I said, until I got this piano and I tried this on this piano. So for me, I feel like it sounds fancy. I'm going to add it. I haven't noticed that it does anything bad. I don't know if I've noticed it does anything good either, but I feel like having it probably doesn't hurt. So with that being said, we are now, I believe, out of the woods. This general number 4, I think I do sometimes take this too. We'll try it for now. I have no clue what this is either. But since it's on that recording, I feel like it's probably a good idea. And now you're seeing there's nothing else here that I'm missing. General 4, sustain, high resolution, note velocity. We now have them all after I go in here and say paste at original position. So here we go. Note velocity. General 4, sustain, high resolution velocity prefix. So now if I compare, here's the human and here's the computer. And they're sounding very, very similar. So believe it or not, that is the process. We are there. What you just did is you humanized a MIDI track to go from sounding like this to actually sounding like this. And as you can see, it doesn't really take that long. So I hope that this was informative and helpful for you. Please feel free to send me any emails or questions that you may have. My email is josh@pianomarvel.com. I really hope that this helps lots of people and would love to help you if you need a little bit more information or expertise. I'm happy to share any information that I have. So thank you all so much for your time, and we'll talk to you later.